Hey everyone, and welcome back to the FAQ Shack. This is the show where we take your biggest, most complicated questions and try to make some sense of them. And boy, have you all given us a doozy to tackle today.
Ever since that incredible new Fallout show dropped, our mailbag has been absolutely overflowing. And almost all of you are asking about one thing: the timeline. It's a question that gets right to the very heart of the franchise, and it all revolves around one very, very important place.
All right, let's get right to it. This one comes from listener NCR_Ranger_76, who asks, I loved the show, but did it just destroy the entire story of Fallout New Vegas? What's the deal with Shady Sands? First off, fantastic question, Ranger. And trust me, you are not the only one wondering this. To really get the answer, we've got to go back, like way back.
To figure out what happened to Shady Sands, we need to understand the world it was born into. So let's set the timeline straight, starting from day 0.
Okay, the first thing you have to remember about Fallout is that it's not our future. It's an alternate history. The timeline zigged where ours zagged right after World War II. This gave us that amazing retro-futuristic world, right? You've got atomic cars, you've got laser guns, but everything still feels like it's stuck in the 1950s. It's a whole vibe. Now, in this atom punk reality, there's one date that matters more than any other: October 23rd, 2077. That's the day of the Great War. It's the day the bombs fell, and in just a few hours, the world we knew was gone, replaced by the wasteland. Every single story in this franchise kicks off right from this apocalyptic moment. All right, foundation's set. Now let's start putting the pieces on the board. We're going to walk through the games one by one in chronological order to see exactly where this whole Shady Sands thing fits. So the earliest we ever get to see the wasteland is in Fallout 76. That game is set in 2102, which is only 25 years after the bombs dropped. I mean, the fallout is still falling. It's our first real look at just how bad things got and how people started trying to pick up the pieces. Now, let's jump forward a good bit. We're on the West Coast now with the OG classics. Fallout 1 happens in 2161, and then its sequel, Fallout 2, takes place way later in 2241. These two games are, they're the bedrock. They established so much of the world, including a certain group that's going to be very important in a minute. And that group is, of course, the New California Republic, the NCR. This is a huge piece of the puzzle. They started as a tiny little town called Shady Sands and grew into this massive, sprawling democracy, trying to bring back some semblance of law and order. Remember the name Shady Sands, because it's the whole reason we're here. And that brings us to the modern games. We've got Fallout 3 in 2277 over on the East Coast, Fallout 4 in 2287, but right there in the middle, sitting at the year 2281, is the big one for our question: Fallout New Vegas. This is where you, the player, are dealing with the NCR at the peak of their power. So lock that date in your head, 2281. It's crucial. Okay, so we've got our timeline of the games all mapped out. We know when the bombs fell. We know when New Vegas happened. Now, let's bring in the TV show and see where it lands. This is where things get interesting, right? This is the million-dollar question. If the NCR is going strong in 2281 in the game, how can their capital city of Shady Sands be a radioactive crater in the show? It feels like a contradiction. Did the showrunners just delete New Vegas from the story?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it all comes down to the date. The Fallout TV show is set in the year 2296. That's a full 15 years after the events of New Vegas and 9 years after even Fallout 4.
So let's be super clear about this. The show is not a reboot, it's not a remake, it is a sequel. It takes place after everything we've seen so far. It's not rewriting history, it's pushing the story forward into a new chapter. Now, I get where the confusion came from. There's a little clue in the show that says Shady Sands fell sometime after 2277, which made everyone think it happened during New Vegas. But that's not quite right. We know New Vegas is in 2281. So the key here, the thing that makes it all work, comes from the creators themselves. It's 2 little words: just after.
And look, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go straight to the man himself, Todd Howard, the director at Bethesda and an executive producer on the show. He cleared it all up. He said, and you can see it right there, "All I can say is we're threading it tighter there, but the bombs fall just after the events of New Vegas. Case closed."
So there you have it, NCR_Rangers76. The verdict is officially in. The show does not, I repeat, does not break the canon of Fallout New Vegas. The horrible, tragic destruction of Shady Sands really happened, but it happened after your adventure in the Mojave Wasteland.
Your story is safe. It all still counts.
Okay, so if the canon isn't broken, what does this mean? Where does the story go from here? Because this changes everything.
See, the show isn't erasing the past, it's building on top of it. The fall of the NCR isn't some mistake or a retcon. It's a huge, earth-shattering event that is now officially part of Fallout history. It's a new piece of the puzzle that creates all sorts of new possibilities for future stories.
And that just leaves us with this one massive, exciting question to chew on, doesn't it? The NCR was one of the biggest players on the entire West Coast, a superpower. And now they've been decapitated. The whole political map has been thrown into complete chaos. So what in the world does that mean for the story of Fallout 5? That is a question for another day. For now, a massive thank you to NCR_Ranger_76 for sending in such a great question. And hey, if you've got a lore question that's been bugging you, some timeline you can't figure out, drop it in the comments. We might just tackle it in the next one. Thanks for stopping by the FAQ Shack.